Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect, the podcast that's about to rock your marketing world. I'm Julie Chanel, and with my co-founder, Kathy Olson, we're the masterminds behind Funnel Gorgeous and FG Funnels. We're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. We'll chat mouth-watering offers, copy, design, and give you an inside look of some of our best and worst funnels. No smoke and mirrors, just real strategies that work from two ladies who have been around the funnel block. So grab your coffee or something stronger, we won't judge, and get ready to unleash the gorgeous effect on your business. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, it's Julie and Kathy back with another episode of The Gorgeous Effect. Today, we are going to talk about sort of two things. One, a strategy that we've been using a couple times that might be beneficial for you and your business. And number two, some of the hubbub that is coming out of our community after doing this second brain presentation. So we're going to talk about the AI part of it and then the strategy behind the presentation. So this is funny. This whole thing is funny and completely accidental.
It's fun fact that Julie and I get on right before these podcasts and we're like, what are we going to talk about? We just really, we have no plan in case you're wondering. But
No
then
plan.
Sometimes so I basically pitch her. It's like a pitch meeting. And I say, hey, what about this, this, and this? And then we just start talking about something. And then she always says, okay, stop. We need to record this. So this like what we're about to talk about, we had just started talking about, and then she saw me getting fired up.
Stop.
Like,
okay,
stop
clearly. Stop talking.
Yeah, so this is a really fun, I think this is really fun. And it's funny because sometimes the best tactics are just accidental. It's like you just go with your gut. You have this weird instinct. I mean, Julie has amazing instincts, so we always should trust them. But she'll have like this instinct, and she'll be like, I just want to do this, and I don't know what it's for. It has no master plan. I just want to do it, and then it always works out so well. So let's break down what you did.
Okay, so here's the strategy. We've done it twice now. The first time was with our time management course about darn time. So this is how it begins. I have an idea. I'm working with students and I'm like, man, this is the process I want to take them through. It's kind of half baked in my brain. It's working for me. It's working for my students. And now I'm like, maybe I should expand this out. So step one of the strategy is that you have to be doing stuff. Otherwise, you have nothing to talk about. So you have to be doing stuff. But the second part of the strategy is you throw up a Zoom registration link, like bare bones, no sales page, no nothing. You throw up a Zoom link and you invite people to a free call. And you do a strategy that you love. There's no pitch, no nothing. And you give it away for free. And it's just this awesome way to give back to your community. It's an awesome way to build rapport, to stay top of mind, all this kind of stuff. And so then what happens is at the end, we both times, both for the About Darn Time and this new one, which we'll talk about the contents of the second brain presentation in a minute, I offer a limited replay for free for 24 hours. And then after that, if you want to buy the replay, the forever replay, plus usually I add a few little things, it's somewhere between $7 and $12. And so this is what we've done twice now. So the second brain, over 700 people registered for this free class. It clearly hit a nerve, and it's about AI. And I think probably 350 people came. It was like a 50% show up rate. It was a great presentation. And then afterwards, I sent out an email with a 24-hour replay and then $12. And I think almost 400 people have purchased the replay as of today. I don't even know how they're finding the page. I only dropped it in one email. That's how you know an offer is working.
Yeah, I don't know if they're Googling it or where they're finding it. So last night we did the live webinar for Launch Gorgeous, and then you just mentioned it. You just casually mentioned, you said, hey, for anyone who was on the second brain, and then all of a sudden the chat was like, where do we buy the second brain? Where do we buy the second brain? Where do we find it? And they were DMing or through Zoom, messaging me, asking me, and I'm like, fine, here. And then all these people bought it while you were you just mentioned it for a second. I think it's because when you mentioned it, people were in the chat and they were like, that was amazing. And it's when someone says something's awesome, you're like, I want that. Oh my gosh, give it.
Yeah.
I think that's why. But yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, we need to turn this into something smarter,
this is this strategy where you offer something for free and then you give people the chance to pay for the replay later, that's how you know it's good content. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times people pay for content before they experience it. And there's sometimes a letdown or sometimes not. But it's really hard to get people to pay for something they've already consumed unless that information is really good. So both times that we've done this, the first time we turned it into a full PLM funnel that's been running and it's got hundreds and hundreds of students. The second brain hasn't even made it that far yet, but it's clearly hitting a nerve. So
How did you decide? So the first one was $7, this one was 12. How did you come up with that number?
literally just
Poof.
I was just moving
12 sounds good.
fast. And I think the reason why the other one was $7 is I don't know that I added anything more to it. I think it was just the replay. This one, I knew people were asking about custom GPTs and they were asking a bunch of questions. So I was like, well, I'll probably add that. So I bumped it up $5. But then after I saw how fast people were buying, I was like, probably could have been more. Like, because
Yeah, it was almost a little too fast.
it
It
was
was
just like
like
hundreds
the
of
emails,
purchases.
the email like purchases were like coming through so fast, and I was like, okay, we just got like 50 sales in like 2 minutes. What is even happening? But
And it doesn't have a sales page. Like it literally doesn't
oh,
have a sales
the
page.
checkout.
It doesn't have a
And
good
you were giving it away for
link.
free. You were doing a 24-hour free. Like you were saying,
I know.
you can watch this for free for 24 hours. And people were
Yes.
still bought right then before the 24 hours were up, you
We're
guys.
up.
Like, this is what you have to understand about
They watched
human
it live, they
psychology.
watched the replay, and then they still bought it.
But like I think if you think about it like from a psychology standpoint, I think they bought the $12 because they didn't want to watch it within the first 24 hours. They were like, $12 is worth me buying
Yeah.
24 hours of my time and getting the free things too, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the
There's
fact
some
that
there's
they
some
didn't
free.
even think about it of like makes me think that $12 is worth them not rushing to watch it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just like just to be thinking about that because it makes a lot of sense of why that worked so well.
And
Like
like the funny thing is that this entire thing, people are like, you're in the kind of in the middle of like launching Launch Gorgeous. Was that intentional? I'm like, no, it literally was just I'm talking to private clients about chat. I'm like, man, I gotta like show people this. This is like mind blowing. And so I just picked a date, a random date, didn't pay any attention. I mean, people, how like this is so bad. I don't know if I should say this, but you know how when Trump does things and people like are like, oh my gosh, that was genius. And they like deconstruct it. And I'm pretty sure he just like made some random decision and then they like ascribe geniusness to it.
yeah.
That's what I did. Like I literally was just moving fast and breaking things. There was no, I was just like moving with my instincts. So in
Yeah, I want, but I
hindsight,
want, I want
it
you
was
to
good.
dive into that because I think you play it off like oh it was an accident, but that's what I mean about your instincts. So like
Mm.
if other people are trying to like capture this lightning in a bottle of like because you said it depends, it makes sense. It has to be really good, right? The content has to be really good, has to
Mhm.
be really relevant, has to be like a hot topic, right, or something, right?
It
There's
just, yeah, it
like
just has to be high value.
but how do you identify? Do you see people talking about it and going, "Oh, this is like," because again, it came from necessity. Like you were like, "I need to talk about this." So can you just back us up to like how do we like
Yeah,
again, how do we do this for ourselves? How do we identify, "Oh, this is now.
this
Like I
is
need to do
good.
this now." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing is I'm going to give a little shout out to the course that we have, Speed of Write. Speed of Write, SPEEDOFWRITE.com. And the course is about how to write faster, but the course is really about how to have lots of ideas. And not the kind of ideas that take you on shiny object syndrome side quests, but the kind of ideas that are solving problems for you today. Because if you are good at like, ooh, I have a problem, I need to fix this problem, and then you're constantly working on fixing problems, those are the little pieces of gold dust that you can share with your audience. So for me, necessity is the mother of invention. I was running out of time and I needed a faster way. I was running out of time and I was going through perimenopause and my memory was going. And now I have been running this mastermind from memory for like 7 years. And now all of a sudden my brain's like, yeah, we're not going to remember that. I'm like, crap, I can't remember shit. Like, and so I started putting conversations into chat so that chat could remind me. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. All right. And so then I like started to realize the potential of it. And then I started to talk about it. And then I started to teach about it. And every time I did, I got like sharper and sharper with what it was that was like so compelling about it. And I saw that people's reaction when I taught it to them, they were like, oh my goodness, this is so helpful. So that was sort of why I decided, okay, I need to show people this. And then I just wrote one email and then like 700 people signed up.
Yeah. So there was a lot in there, and I think no, I mean good stuff. Like you explained it pretty well of like like you said, you're just kind of testing things all the time. You're teaching things all the time. You're just doing it through, repetition, whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
you're doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
And then you see like you're in real time, you're getting that feedback from people of like, well, number one, it was working really well for you. That's where you started, right? You said
Yeah.
like, yes, like this was actually I had this problem. I fixed it. I assume other people had this problem. I started talking about it, and then yes, they did
Fixed it
have
for
this
them.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's a really good structure, I think, of how to figure out like what your topic would be or what you would teach about. And again, you could have taught it and it could have like not done a lot and it would have been whatever a wasted weekend or not weekend, but like a wasted couple days of however long it took you to write the slides. Probably not that
Yeah.
long because because I know you did them in Gamma.
That one actually took me a couple days to
Okay.
get done. So it was definitely a couple days worth of work for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, if you were to have taught it and it didn't get a lot of signups or whatever, okay, cool, whatever. I mean,
right.
you didn't spend any ads, you didn't, you know what I mean? Like you didn't waste any like actual
Nope.
like hard costs, no like hard resources, just your time. So
Yep.
it's like it could have flopped, whatever. It doesn't because you haven't those good instincts, but just in case you have to practice, I'm sure there's plenty of times when you put stuff out there that you thought people wanted to know
But
and it
see,
didn't.
I've been doing this since like 2016. I remember I was doing like a MailChimp like newsletter template and I was like, man, this is so much faster when you do it this way. And I was like, this is cool. And then I hosted a webinar teaching people how to do it, you know? So it's just I do and then I'm like, oh cool, that worked. And then I teach. And so I guess the big thing is you have to do stuff, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what creates the like
You have to
aha
solve your
moments.
own problems.
You have to solve your problems and
Like if
then
you're
you can
forgetting things and you can't remember it and you need a second brain. Once you
exactly. You're
grow
like,
your
this
brain.
brain is not working.
Yeah, we didn't explain the idea of
Okay,
second
yeah.
brain. We should
Okay.
probably explain it.
So the idea is that, and this is where I think a little bit of my marketing prowess comes in because what I started, you know, I use chat the way everybody else does to help with writing, to help with ideas, to help with names, headlines, captions, right? All that stuff. And so then I started using it more to remember the stuff my clients were saying. Then I realized that I could actually get information, psychological information that I didn't have that I couldn't make my human brain do because I was cataloging these conversations. And then it expanded out and I was like, well, if I can do this here, can't I do it there? And then before I knew it, my chat was just getting fuller and fuller and fuller and I was getting faster and faster because I would just go back to those chats and I was like, man, if I don't keep this thing organized, it's going to get out of hand real fast. So then I was like, I have to organize it. And I kept thinking about that movie Inside Out with the little balls and the long-term storage and the elephant that got lost. I was like, I can't lose this stuff, right? Because that was the problem. I was losing good insights, right? And so I started to organize and all this. And I remember I went on a podcast or something, or somebody asked me, how often are you in Chat GPT? And then I was like, I don't know, all day. And that's when I realized I was like, man, I'm using this as a second brain. And that is the marketing idea, right? That's the part where I think it took off because I was trying to get people to have a paradigm shift of don't just use chat as an assistant. Like literally imagine another brain is coming out of your body and you have now a second brain. Like you have double the capacity and that brain can do things your brain can't. And so that was the moment. And so I tried to come up with like three absolutely no brainer habits that someone could do every single day. And so what happened is after I did it, I taught three habits and they were super simple, which was first thing you do in the morning, open chat. The second thing was intentional organization. And the third thing was clean up your brain at the end of the day, just like Joy does in Inside Out. You got to watch that movie if you've never seen it. And if you do those three things, that sounds super boring, it's going to change your life. And then the next day, I had Instagram DMs, I had emails. Oh my God. It sounded so simple. I did it. And so I think what's happening is people are sharing this random link because they're having that sort of epiphany moment and they're sharing the link and then people are buying it because I've literally not sent any email since then. I don't know where people are getting the link.
I know. We need to like figure that out probably. Or we should just need to make it easier. Someone was yesterday was like, I'm on funnelgorgeous.com. Where's Second Brain? And I'm like, maybe I just need to throw it up there and put it on.
I think we probably do because it's clearly resonating. I had someone yesterday say, "Can I include this in my summit bundle?" I was like, "Sure." It's just like our free gift, to the world.
Definitely.
It's a little dangerous though. I also am feeling like I got like long emails from people like with like this has completely changed my life in one day. And so
That's awesome.
use use ethically.
Another thing I thought that was cool, and I don't know if it's like a learning moment or not, but that you told what you weren't going to teach.
Ah,
And you
yes.
like, you had some boundaries in there because again, sometimes when you get on these live things, like people want to pick your brain and they're like, wait, what about, blah, 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 blah," and then like it can derail you really quickly. One thing I thought that you did brilliantly from I definitely like past experiences was you said exactly what you were going to talk about and what you were not going to talk about. And so it
Yeah.
wasn't an open forum to discuss AI. It was I am talking about this thing. This is and then during the chat, people I don't think you even saw it, but during the chat, people were like policing it, going, "She said she wasn't going to talk about that." Like so, it kept the guardrails on like the whole time, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's really important if you have a lot of people on because chats can totally side rail. And so I think the reason why I did that, well, two reasons. Number one, I had hosted an open house about AI with digital insiders in the community, and I noticed just how many like topics there were. And so I wrote an email that said what I'm going to cover on the call. I told them how long it was going to be. I told them if there was going to be a replay. I told them if there was going to be a pitch or not. And then I said, I am not going to cover because I knew that there would be all those other topics. And I said, so please don't ask me about them. And I did see in the chat, people started asking, and there were people who had the email and they were copy and pasting
They
the
were like,
email in
"Here's
the
what she
chat.
said she wasn't going to talk about." It's awesome. I mean, that was a really cool add-on, and I think it really nice and compact, and also like easy to watch on a replay. Like that was like the kind of the point, right?
And
Because
I
you
think
didn't just ramble, like it was very like on point.
Yeah, well, I think when you're doing presentations on big topics, I mean, and this is kind of about hyper specificity and the way the market is going. I mean, if you think about a topic like I mean, you, it's like enormous, right? And the only place where I feel like I have any authority to teach is in this very, very small, like
Right.
ChatGPT, not Perplexity, not Grok, not Gemini, right? ChatGPT, using it as a second brain in this fashion with these habits. I can teach on this because I've done it and I've taught it to other people and it's worked for other people. But you're going to ask me to make some like, automatic AI agent or tell you about AI privacy? Like, who the frig am I? I'm not going to talk about that. I have no idea.
Yeah. No, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. So I think, we've covered a bunch of topics here today. I think we've covered the strategy of like free value and then getting people to buy on the replay as a way to test your idea to see if it has market validation. We've talked about AI as a second brain, which I think we have agreed now we probably need to put up a landing page for it so people can buy it. And then I think we also talk just now what you brought up about being very specific about what you're teaching and not trying to cover too much. And if I were to tell you, hey, I'm going to do a presentation tomorrow on why you should open up chat first, why you should keep your chat organized, and why you should clean up your chat, nobody would attend, right? And that's the problem with teaching process versus being like, hey, AI could be your second brain. That's the marketing angle, and that's why people showed up to the call.
100%. Everybody wants a second brain.
Yeah, I mean, who
So
doesn't want a
now we
second
need
brain?
to get it up so that we can put it in the show notes so you guys can get the second brain if you want.
I know, I know.
Oh
All right,
man,
well,
more for us to do. That's fine.
more
That's all
work.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
just
Well,
email us.
good luck
Awesome.
finding the link.
Yeah, this it's like a scavenger hunt. Now you need to go find the link somewhere.
All
Awesome.
right, guys. Well, as always, thanks for hanging out with us. We hope that you find value in this podcast, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're just getting started with this podcast, and we're so excited to have you on this journey with us. If you found value in today's episode, we'd be over the moon if you'd consider subscribing. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us going. And hey, if you're feeling extra gorgeous, leaving a review would mean the world to us. Your words not only make our day, but it also helps other amazing folks just like you find our show through your review. Lastly, if you know someone who could use a little sales pep talk, why not spread the love? Share this episode and let's grow this gorgeous community together.